Okay, everyone, I want to talk about a few things today, just real brief. Some common objections you're going to hear because they're pretty much all the same. A lot of them, 90%, just like any other sales. These are going to be some common objections you're going to hear. I'm going to give you guys a good little framework of rebuttals that you can use on your own deals. Hopefully these help. The first thing I like to talk about is building rapport. You want to separate yourself from the 100 other brokers that are calling your business owner, literally every single day, right? They're getting thousands of calls a week. So you want to separate yourself. The way I do this is building rapport. If you don't have rapport, you got nothing. A lot of times the terms are not going to sell themselves, right? So, when I get on a call, I'm normally talking about current events or something, that's in the ballpark of the merchant. For example, if I've got a guy or a girl that's in the Midwest, I start talking about, have you seen the new episode of Yellowstone? It's sick, right? Or have you tried the new series Landman? It's by the same guy, etc. Whatever it is, have a friendly conversation. Start warming them up a little bit before you go into what you're, looking to accomplish. This could be when it was the election. Every single person I spoke to, I was talking about, thank God, Trump, right? Or whatever it was. Mind you, though, you got to be on your feet. I had a merchant say, well, I actually voted for Harris. And then really quickly, I kind of said, look at us, two people coming from opposite ends of the spectrum to get you funded. Let's talk about it, et cetera, things like that. So besides the rapport, here's a couple other objections. I only want an SBA or line of credit. Instead of just telling them absolutely not, I don't know about the place you work, but my shop does offer that. Depending on if you fit into the parameters. So let's kind of pre-qualify them very quickly. Okay, you only want an SBA conventional. Great. What is your credit score? Now, this is going to blow out about 80% of people. Don't get me wrong, there are some A-paper people that are going to be there that have good credit scores, and a lot of times these guys just aren't going to take a cash advance. But most of the time you're going to hear, 550, 620, 640. Okay, sir, listen, my office does specialize in SBA and conventional as well, but unfortunately, you're just not at the credit rating yet to do that. Now, this is where someone like me, I would talk about my shop where we do credit restoration services. We do full credit disputes. We do sweeps where we go in, just dispute every single negative charge-off, inquiries, late payments, collections, what have you. We dispute them up to 4 times and at authorized user trade lines. And this is what's going to get you ready for the SBA or conventional. Now, don't just say this if you guys don't do it. You want to make good on your promise. But the whole point of that is to say, okay, so what is the point of the capital? Let's get you the capital now as a bridge, and then we will work towards building your credit to get you the products that you'd like, the SBAs, the monthly payments, the 10-year terms, things of that nature. Another thing is the reason, like we were saying, the reason why they need the capital. If they say to you, oh, well, I don't really need it, I might need it in a month, don't waste your time. This is a product, short-term working capital. This is a product for business owners that need the money. Let's face it. This is, the factor rates are high. It has to make sense for them. Hopefully there's a need. You're going to run into people all the time that have 4, 5, 6 positions where it's just really to cover the previous ones. In that case, there's a few things you can work with. But, most of the time, if it's, if you can make the terms good for them, if they're used to cash advances, you can normally make a deal. If there's a reason for the capital, like let's say it's for payroll, let's say it's for inventory, they need to do a new project or construction, they need to place some new bids, they need to get some kind of stuff for the job, you're going to just find that there is a sense of urgency, and that kind of flips the light bulb in my head that, okay, it's going to make sense to work for this person because they're looking to make a deal, right? If you get a guy who's got a 750 credit score, you see these leads where they have perfect credit. These guys don't want to take cash advances. And listen, I get it. If my score is 750, 800, and I'm doing great revenue, I have a high, net on my taxes, and my debt to income is not that bad, I'm not going to even listen to an MCA pitch. And if that's the case, hopefully your office does provide those products and you can kind of move it to that. Another one is, it's not enough money, right? How many times do you hear this where the merchant wants $100,000 and they're only approved for $15,000? I get it all day. So in that scenario, you're going to have to do some selling, and you're going to have to explain why they don't qualify for the amount they want. Let's say their revenue isn't high enough. Let's say that they have 3 or 4 positions, and the last position was a $60K. So now your new funding only wants to come behind it with a $40K. Whichever one it is, you want to stress the relationship that, whether you're a direct funder or you work directly with the funder, you work closely with a direct lender, that once we build positive payment history, get you on the book, see that you pay, you have no problem running into underwriting, getting a black eye for them to give them more capital and better terms. Like I just saw this. We had a guy that we got him, I think it was like $40K, very short-term, high-risk deal. I think it was like 50 days. and then we refied him right away and gave him 70 with, I think, maybe another 10 or 15 days, almost another month. It worked for the merchant. So you want to stress the relationship. If they kind of get to you that the interest is too high, the factor rate is too high, you want to explain to them, listen, this is short-term working capital. This is meant to solve a purpose. I know you're thinking of the rates of like, a conventional or an SBA. Let's say the rate is 12 or 13%, but if you actually crunch those numbers and do those numbers to the extent of the term, like if you take conventional, let's say it's 13%, 5 or 7 years, you're paying back 50 grand on 100,000. You better believe it. The banks are getting their money. It's just prettier. It's packaged nicer. You're not thinking about that interest every single year. Obviously, the principal is going down every year, but go to Google and type in a conventional loan calculator. Put in 100,000. Put 12, 13% interest. Do 5, 7 years. You'll see it's literally almost the same rate as a cash advance. It's just nicer. It's a monthly payment, etc. I hope that's a few things that that can help you. I hope you try them. If you guys want some more resources, go to cashadvancetraining.com, drop us a line, info@cashadvancetraining.com, and we'll help you with whatever you guys are going through, and girls. Okay, thanks so much.